Welcome to another informative series brought to you by Ortruo. In today's series we will be looking at proximity real sensor, application of proximity real sensor in industrial setup. So what is proximity real sensor? Proximity real sensor is an electronic device that is used to detect metallic objects. This type of sensor are mostly used to detect special mechanical motions. This type of motion includes linear or reciprocating machine motion. A little dive into what linear motion and reciprocating motion is, will aid better understanding. Linear motion is one-dimensional motion along a straight line. An example of such motion movements can be found in a rail transport system. Trains' loco moves on rail tracks and their movements is usually in a straight line. The straight line movements tends to heads in one directions. Reciprocating motion on the other hand is a repetitive motion. That is, up and down movement of a shafts. Or, the to and fro linear movements of a reciprocating engines. Now in industrial setup. These movements need to be tracked by the programmable logic controller, also known as PLC. And the tracking is done through a special device. This special device is known as real sensor. As the objects slide through from point A to point B, the sensor is used to track the object when it reaches a predetermined points. It is usually mounted on the surface of the tracking objects. Magnetic field induced by the real sensor will be affected by the tracking objects as it moves towards the sensor. The generated fields will react with the metal objects and the sensor will switch and sends a feedback of 24 volts to the logic controller. This type of sensing device also comes with its own features. An examples of such features is: it does not need another device. An example of such is a reflector or receiver. So basically, the signals does not need to be reflected back off a reflector or to be received by a receiver. Instead, it will sense the tracking object when it comes close. Another known features is, it occupies less space because the objects can be directly mounted on the surface of the tracking medium. Now that we have known its unique features, let's look at its drawback. It does not track the object increments, which to continuously track the object position as it moves along its own track, which is a typical 1 to 10 or 1 to 100 increments. Instead it is a point-to-point sensing device. It sense object at its mounting positions only. Another major drawback is, this type of sensor is only suitable for objects that moves in linear part. Let's do a quick recap. We started off with what is real proximity sensor. We look at a typical example of linear and reciprocating motion. From there we look at how the sensor senses objects. And finally we ended off looking at his features and drawback. Hope you have learnt something today. See you in our upcoming series.